Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Omni viewer, and I'm just here to deliver another quick bit of Godzilla news that just dropped. Now, earlier in this year, 2024, Marvel had two things connected to Godzilla that happened. First, they announced the re-release of the original 1970s series in this omnibus format. Hardcover, full-color, high-quality pages, much better representation than the Essentials version that was printed on relatively cheap paper in black and white softcover. In fact, the only thing that would keep me from recommending this to people is the fact that it is flipping expensive, way overpriced for a comic book, like $100 brand new. Yikes, right? I know Godzilla doesn't come cheap, but come on. Anyway, in conjunction with this, I don't know why they chose to do it specifically, but I guess since they figured they had the license again, they decided to do a bunch of covers for their different comic book series that featured different Marvel heroes and villains meeting different variants of Godzilla. Anything from the original 1954 to Shin and practically every design in between. However, Godzilla was not actually in any of those books. He only appeared on the covers. So basically it was Wolverine advertising. If you don't know what that is, there was a time a couple decades ago where Wolverine was Marvel's most popular character. So they started putting him on the covers of every single book they put out. Even if he wasn't actually in the book. They did it purely to increase sales, figuring that if that many people liked Wolverine, they would get anything with Wolverine on it, even if he wasn't in the book, as said. Now, some might call this tactic underhanded and dishonest. Anyway, that's what Marvel did with Godzilla earlier this year. But nothing actually came of it, and it didn't seem like anything was going to. Until just now. Marvel has announced that beginning in March of 2025, they will be releasing a brand new crossover series called Godzilla vs. Marvel. And it's going to be a little bit different than last time. First of all, Godzilla is going to be appearing in different eras of Marvel history, as they put it. The first issue, for example, is going to feature Godzilla and the Fantastic Four encountering Galactus and King Ghidorah. And that leads to the second major difference. Clearly Godzilla is not going to be the only Toho kaiju appearing. What other kaiju are going to show up? Well, at this point we don't know. We at least know King Ghidorah. If I had to guess, they probably prioritized the big five, so that would mean Mothra, Mechagodzilla, and Rodan are also likely to show up. And maybe they'll throw in a couple of B and C listers, depending. But at this point, we really don't have that information. All we know is that these are going to be new crossover stories with Godzilla, the Marvel characters, and other Toho kaiju. Now here's the really long shot thing I want to bring up. You see, Marvel now has the rights to Godzilla again, and they also have the rights to Ultraman. At least I'm pretty sure they still do. News has been very slow, and I think I'm the only person in the entire world who was even bothering to cover the Ultraman x Avengers crossover. Not even sure it's still worth covering. I don't even know when the third issue is released, if it's released yet. But the fact is, not really many people have been talking about it. I don't know if that deal is still in place. But since I haven't heard anything about it dissolving, I've got to assume it still is. So, that would mean Marvel has access to Godzilla and Ultraman and different other characters from within their respective universes at the same time. Now, like I said, it's a long shot, but wouldn't it be crazy if they used this opportunity to do a Godzilla Ultraman crossover? Like an official one. Maybe not in a movie or a show, but in the comics. And maybe with the Avengers, maybe without, who knows. But, well, I want to make it very clear, that wasn't part of this announcement either. So, when I say it's a long shot, I mean it's a long shot, but they still have access to him at the same time, so who knows? What we do know specifically, though, is that Godzilla vs. Marvel is going to begin in March of 2025. And you realize that this means 2025 will be a year where we'll have Godzilla comics from IDW and DC with their sequel to Justice League vs. Godzilla vs. Kong, and from Marvel. That's a lot. So we'll see soon enough how good any of them are. I just thought you guys would like to know about this little announcement. Until such time as we meet again, this is the Omni Viewer signing off.